afternoon. Egypt has announced a new set of incentives for encourage local and foreign investors to establish industrial projects in the North African country. Authorities say the measures will strengthen the localization of industrial, which is thought would enhance production and boost exports. The Egyptian government is viewing manufacturing as a main component to resuscitate the economy that is grappling with high inflation and hard currency shortage. And let's have more details of that in this report.
Ahmed Mustafa owns a metal casting plant in Cairo and whose products are used in various industries. He says Egypt has huge potential for industrialization.
Egypt is a gateway to African and Asian markets through the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. We have the all-important Suez Canal route. European markets are also nearby. Labor is skilled and relatively cheap, while electricity and land prices have a low cost.
The Egyptian government is eyeing manufacturing as a main component for kickstarting the economy that's grappling with high inflation rates and hard currency shortage.
The manufacturing industry accounts for 17% of GDP and 85% of non-petroleum exports. Egypt has recently been a main consumer and importer, but we are trying to become a producer and exporter. Opening new factories will cover the consumption and import gap, and we will save on dollar import expenses and solve the hard currency shortage.
Investors, however, say they have faced hurdles in their attempts to set up shop in Egypt.
Most of the problems in Egypt were related to licensing and red tape. For someone to build a factory, he had to deal with extremely difficult regulations and he had to contend with many authorities to get approvals.
Lack of proper infrastructure was also a challenge, but the government has been working to rebuild roads, transport links and energy supplies to factories. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also ratified a fresh set of incentives to increase industrial activity. The Prime Minister described the measures as unprecedented.
I can safely say we have made revolutionary amendments to the investment regulations. We took measures that the private sector has only dreamed about.
The incentives for manufacturing include a waiver on all taxes for 5 years for new plants and an additional 5-year tax exemptions if certain targets in production and investment levels are met. The government will also return 50% of land cost to an investor if the project starts operating ahead of time, and a golden license will be issued on a wider scale to cut down on red tape.
The tax breaks are really good. To have exemptions for manufacturers is only found in about 13 countries worldwide. The 50% discount on land prices is extremely encouraging, and the golden license will reduce the fear of red tape by Egyptians and foreigners. This is an excellent opportunity for any investor.
The government has also established a huge industrial free zone area along the Suez Canal, as well as 11 investment areas across the country to accommodate more factories and localize production. Yes, Hakim for CGTN, Cairo, Egypt.